on in Classic Rock, 92.9 KISM, 817. Rain today, a high of 56. It's 48 right now. Something really cool is going to be going on in Whatcom County this week with regard to tiny homes, tiny houses, and we're going to tell you all about it. We got Zack Giffin in here this morning from the Tiny House Nation show on the FYI channel. Are you the father of tiny houses? Or you were on the ground floor? Is that right? How would we say that?
Yeah, I'm not the father. No way. But I got in on it pretty early, so I'm a pretty recognizable character within the tiny house world.
And explain what a tiny house world is for those who don't, or what a tiny house is for those who don't know.
What constitutes? Okay. So how many square footage constitutes a tiny house?
Tiny house is about anything under 400 square feet. So imagine like a backyard cottage. Imagine like a mother-in-law's apartment. Any of those in my book kind of qualify. But the standard, like the typical tiny home, was one on a trailer, and that's, in my mind, when it first showed up, that's really
the first ones were kind of mobile, but now they're more fixed homes.
Yeah, and to me it doesn't really matter. Foundation's a foundation. It just matters how you actually build the structure. Sure. So, the nice thing about a tiny home, even if they are on a trailer, they're built with the same kind of construction process that you would expect out of normal homes.
And then on the TV show, who are you building these homes for?
We're building the homes for kind of everyone. A lot of millennials and a lot of kind of retirement age people. Not so many people with big families are trying to move into a tiny home.
Sure.
For a lot of people, it really works.
If you got a couple of labs, that's not going to work.
Eight is enough is not filming the next season.
But why not? Why has this gone on here in the last 10 years as opposed to 30 years ago? I think after 2008 housing crisis, it was really kind of what kind of jumpstart the movement. People are just looking for different options. I think a lot of people have had experiences where they've gone down this road and found themselves just over their head in debt.
Big old money pit.
Yeah, and never being able to follow their dreams and kind of find a way to live with a little bit less demands on your life, frees up some time, and you can be like me and just spend most of your time being a ski bum.
Yeah, keep what's important to you.
So you are going to there's going to be a workshop here, and there's really a pretty cool thing that you folks are going to be doing here, and our listeners are going to be able to come out and see this and learn and get hands-on, and we'll explain it here in just a few minutes. But again, the show itself on FYI channel, right?
Well, actually, we're on A&E now.
Oh, you're on A&E?
We started, yep. It's big news. A&E,
nice.
10 o'clock on Wednesday nights on
Okay.
A&E, and then August it's going to be on Netflix. So you'll be able to see it in a lot of places.
Oh, really? Okay.
One of the things that a friend of mine lives on a sailboat, and it's amazing how every little square inch is usable space. No matter what it is, each panel moves and creates something else, or each little drawer opens up to something else, and it has multi-use. Do you find that's the case with tiny houses? You're trying to make every usable space inch, something useful?
Honestly, in my mind, that's the definition of a tiny home. It's a home where every square foot is utilized for some purpose, and you don't have a lot of waste in it. So that could be a sailboat for sure. But if you watch the show, that's kind of my specialty, is I get to tackle those projects, and there's just so much fun.
Well, give us an example of something that somebody wanted in there that you initially were like, well, we can't. There's no way that's going to work. But then you made it work.
How about a hang glider? That was definitely one.
A hang glider in the tiny house?
In the tiny house. It's got to be stored inside, so we had to figure out some kind of mechanism to get it in and out the window. He had to be able to do it by himself. He wasn't a huge guy, so
couldn't you just
I kind of built a pulley contraption. And
I'd use it as like the deck cover. Somehow it's on the outside and it's part of the covered deck or something. You just snap it off and take off.
It's surprising, but when your life is dependent on the thing actually being in good shape, people don't really want to live outdoors.
Yeah.
I don't want to run the risk of any holes in there, moths eating it or whatever it might be. All right, Zack Giffin, Tiny House Nation on the A&E channel in town this week for a special event that's going to be going on, and we're going to explain who this is for and how you can be a part of all this next. Okay, Zack Giffin, Tiny House Nation, A&E channel in here with us on the Brad and John Show this morning with a big event coming up this week. And who are you helping, and why, and where is all this going to take place?
All right, that's a great question. It's we are helping the Lummi Stepping Stones, which is a nonprofit that's out on the reservation, on the Lummi Reservation, and they are building a village of tiny homes to serve members of the community that need a place to go. And it's a really, really important, needed thing.
And the goal is 100 tiny homes?
Their ultimate goal is 100 tiny homes, but you know what? You got to start with one. And so that's what we're doing. And I work with a nonprofit called Operation Tiny Home, and we've been doing these workshops for the last 4 years that are free for veterans. And we've been going around the country trying to help these villages of tiny homes get jump started. And it's all been, for veterans up until this point. This is the first time that we're working with a tribe, and it's fantastic that it's a local thing. It's something that's near and dear to my heart because it's here.
Now, we've been watching the TV news here almost every week. We see a story on homeless folks in Seattle, and some of them have homes that look tiny, have been described as tiny homes. How are these different? What you are going to build different than what we would see in Seattle?
Yeah, well, I would never undercut anybody's effort to help people, but I think that what we try to do is really ensure that there's a certain level of dignity involved in living in the homes that we create, right? So they're all
Not
fully
just a tool
functional.
shed.
It's not a tough shed. This has got a fully functioning kitchen, a bathroom, a shower. It's well insulated. It's got heat and cool. I mean, it's a fully functioning home. It just happens to be small. And the idea is that you got to hit that balance between dignified and affordable.
And so a 3-day workshop is commencing with Bellingham Millwork Supply and teaching people how to build these.
Yeah,
themselves.
that's what I do because I can't afford to build homes for everybody, but what I can do is I can teach. So, the thing about a tiny home is that it's a home that has all the attributes of a larger home, only we can do the process in a lot shorter amount of time so you don't bang your head against the wall.
And I think it promotes peaceful resolution to talking things out because there's no going upstairs to I'm going to go sleep this one off. I'm going to go upstairs and watch television until you calm down.
You're all in that same space there.
That space, man.
Yeah, and then you get outside,
Or you go
It's easy.
outside.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
But I think really, what it's about with the villages is it's about kind of building in a designed community, right? So you have that kind of peer support. So people aren't just in a field off on their own, isolated, which is an experience that is very common with homeless in general. It's just that isolation. So to break down that, to remind people that actually there is hope in the world and that we got each other's back, I think is a really big piece of this.
I want to see John with a tool belt on, hammer in hand. I want to see, over a skill saw. Can we do that on Friday?
I don't think you want me with the skills.
Yeah, no, with the skill
A
saw.
hammer I can handle.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys can use any tool you want. We'll give you the safety rundown.
Are you good on cleaning blood off the walls of a tiny house? If you give me a skill saw, who are you going to teach, and when and where? I know Bellingham Millwork, but who can come in and learn?
Okay, so there's a 3-day workshop starting this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It is actually full. The registration is full.
Okay.
However, we are asking anybody who's in this community that wants to learn about what we're doing. There's going to be a lot of homes that need to be built. So come on by, check it out, and I'll shake your hand. We can line you up for the next workshop, but we really need people to just show up and become engaged.
How fast can you turn around one of these tiny houses from rolling out the plans the first time and getting going to turning the key?
We had it down in about 8 days.
Wow!
But I wouldn't do that to you. If I was building your home, I'd take my time.
Sure, but
so
you could do it in 8 days.
yeah, it's ferocious. But with the workshop, we're gonna go at a pretty good pace. We're gonna have a home that looks, at least from the outside, pretty well completed by the end of the 3 days. But the point is not just to beat ourselves up and get it done. The point is to actually take our time and teach people the process.
Okay, so you can come, though you're not going to get hands-on, you can come and you can watch and ask questions.
Yeah, we got barbecue happening on Friday. These legends, these guys Brad and John are gonna be showing up, and
11 to, I think we're there 11 to 2, right, on Friday?
yeah,
11 to 2.
broadcasting live.
Yep.
So Saturday we're gonna have the gifting ceremony. They're gonna have the Lummi Blackhawk dancers are gonna be out there.
Oh, they're great.
It's
We
gonna
saw
be
them at the auction. They're
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, and so here's the thing: is that it's about kind of spreading the awareness here in Bellingham, which is so awesome that you had me on today to be able to do that, because this is going to be an ongoing process for a long time. The Lummi Stepping Stones, they're doing great stuff, and they need all the support they can get.
Good work, Zach. All right, well, we look forward to seeing you Friday for our broadcast, but Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Bellingham Millwork. Come by. Again, Brad and I there from 11 until 2.
And if you just caught the end, you walk in here, what's going on with the tiny house? I just caught the tail end of it. All this will be on the Brad and John page here in just about an hour.
Tiny House Nation on A&E with Zack Giffin, and happy to have him in our community.
Nice work, buddy.
This week. Good job, Zach. We'll see you Friday.
Thanks for having me on. You guys are legends.
We've got the late edition of Like Camp.